7 signs you're aging well, according to geriatricians. When it comes to getting older, there are many factors that help you live a fulfilled, healthy life. Ones that go beyond working out and eating your vegetables, although that's part of it too. Aging well, in my opinion, consists of 3 different components. These categories are physical health, emotional connection, and mental support. These elements come together to help you live a life that's rewarding, lively, and healthful. Doctors say there are lots of behaviors that contribute to your physical, emotional, and mental health as you grow older, and some clear signs that you're taking care of yourself in these ways. Below, geriatricians share the indicators that someone is aging well, along with a little advice if you feel like you're not hitting the mark. 1. You take time to learn new things. The older we get, the fewer chances we have to absorb new information. Many of us are far out of school or work. The opportunities to learn are limited if those opportunities aren't sought out. We also look at their cognitive health in this, making sure that they are staying mentally strong. They are using their mind. They are engaging in exercises to stimulate their mind, which means they are learning like a new skill. Doctors encourage their patients to learn something new, whether it's a new game, exercise, language, or musical instrument. Most of that will help form new pathways in the brain so that they can continue to stay cognitively strong. 2. You're honest about your needs. So often people don't age well because they're not upfront about what their needs are. How do we make it okay for people to say, "This is what I need, I'm feeling lonely. I need someone to go out with on a Tuesday night"? Rampant ageism makes it easy for people to feel like a burden or invisible, which can encourage silent suffering. But it's important to push against that and let folks know when you're having a tough time. So if you're someone who can share your thoughts and needs with your family and friends, that's a good sign. What's more, if you're struggling with depression and anxiety, it's important to let your doctor know. Depression can be treated at any age, and not just with medication, with counseling, with group interventions, you name it. So I think that's part of how you age well, being open to being able to say, "This is who I am, this is what I need." 3. You have a community. Loneliness and isolation are a big problem, so much so that the Surgeon General of the United States declared an epidemic of isolation and loneliness throughout the country. As you know, with the COVID pandemic, this has become really important. There was a lot of social isolation among our geriatric patients because they were confined to their homes. To combat feelings of loneliness and isolation, it's important to bolster your social connections, whether that's with friends, family, your church group, or your community. There isn't one right way to connect with your community either. This could look like anything from volunteering at a local food bank to helping a neighborhood child learn to read. Socializing can help your brain health too. We think of the brain as a muscle, so if you sit in a room with 4 walls all day and not talk to anybody, you're almost living in a nursing home. Your brain is going to go to sludge because it's not getting any stimulation. Socializing, whether that's talking to people in person or on the phone, interacting with folks on Zoom or joining a book club, is a way to exercise your brain and make it stronger. 4. You prioritize your physical health. Eating nutritious foods and exercising are important all throughout your life, including when you reach an older age. Eating a healthy diet that is rich in fruits and vegetables, and one that aligns with a combination of a Mediterranean diet and a DASH, dietary approaches to stop hypertension diet. The DASH diet is a low-sodium diet that is recommended for people that have high blood pressure. The Mediterranean diet is a well-studied meal plan that is full of whole grains, healthy fats, lean meat, and plant-based foods. Drinking enough water is also part of this. And beyond what you eat and drink, it's important to keep yourself physically fit too. I want people to keep moving, exercising. If you haven't moved in a long time, or you've been sitting down for a long time, it's sometimes useful to ask your doctors for a physical therapy order to help you with your gait and balance. Many of us may be afraid to move around as we get older because of a fear of falling. But exercising, whether you're walking or joining a Tai Chi class, can help with your fall risk. Because what happens is, if we choose not to walk or choose not to move, then it puts you at a higher risk for falling. So it's almost like a catch-22. When exercising, it's also important to work on your muscle strength, since muscle mass is lost as you age. Lifting weights, Pilates, yoga, and Tai Chi can all be a part of a good muscle-building exercise routine. Additionally, cardio fitness, like walking, biking, swimming, and running, are important for your heart health. 5. You do things you enjoy. I love people who are doing activities and enjoying life, and doing it in a way that brings them enjoyment. It's not realistic to think that you'll never deal with an illness or an injury, but that doesn't mean you can't do the things you love to do, whether that's traveling, learning new recipes, or playing games with your family. From my end, people get chronic illnesses throughout their life, but it's all about managing their care and doing the best they can. And if you're doing things you enjoy, you likely won't find yourself bored, and boredom can be a red flag as you age. Feeling like the day is very, very long is not a good sign. Hobbies, volunteer work, and spending time with loved ones are all good ways to combat boredom. 6. You talk to your doctor about the medications you take. Just because you were prescribed one medication in your 50s doesn't mean it's still serving you 20, 30, or 40 years later. Many times we end up taking too many medicines for what we actually need. Your body is always changing. It may not need certain meds. It's important to talk to your doctor about deprescribing any unnecessary medications. For example, if you were prescribed medication for stress when you were working in your 50s, you may not need it after you retire. And so it may be that they don't need these medicines, or that these medicines might actually be bad for them as they get older. So it's imperative that you talk to your physician or a geriatrician, specifically looking at what drugs are unnecessary or can be dangerous as you get older. 7. You plan for the future. The other thing I always tell people is to plan ahead, because as much as we all want to age well into our hundreds, healthy and happily, there is a very good chance that something might happen that you need to be hospitalized, or that you might need more support in your home. It's important to talk to your family and friends about what you want to happen if you are hospitalized, if you fall, or if you experience memory loss. This way your loved ones will be prepared if any unplanned, stressful situations occur. It's not planning for end of life, which is like hospice, or planning you're going to die in 6 months. This is planning for the 20 years before you need help. This is a way to ensure your voice is heard as you get older, and that those around you don't make decisions for you. This could look like having a conversation with your kids about what kind of support you want if you get to a point where you can't care for yourself. Imagine chatting with your partner about moving to a cozy one-story house. No more climbing stairs all the time, just easy living and more time together. It's good to start this kind of planning when you retire, but it's also important to know that these plans may change as your life progresses, and that is okay. As plans change, it's crucial that you keep the conversation going and inform your loved ones. Now is always a good time to begin. The sooner you start focusing on these things, the better. And even if you still think you have time, you still should make these behaviors a priority. The important thing I want to really communicate with this topic is that oftentimes people will ask me this question: how do I age well? Or when they're well in their 60s or their 70s, I really want people to start thinking about aging well from the time they're in their 30s and their 40s. If you start focusing on healthy habits earlier in your life, you can carry them along into your golden years. Additionally, as you age, don't focus so much on the number. That has nothing to do with aging well. Chronological age doesn't mean a whole lot. So 65, 75, 85, it's how you're feeling that makes that difference, not that number. If you prioritize your relationships, your physical health, your mental health, and your future plans, you'll be set up to feel good no matter what year you were born.